Yo, my best videos, topics of conversation, I believe, are the ones that I had over the course of my time at my gym. So I owned the gym 6 or 7 years, and over the course of that time, people would be asking me questions. I loved fielding the questions. I put myself in a position to spread the knowledge. Here's the YouTube where I can spread the knowledge to more people, maybe more than one at a time. This is great. The topic today is supplementation, and it was presented to me by a buddy. So buddy sent me a question. Hey, can I take this for weight loss? And what is up with this growth hormone stuff in it? It got me going. So supplementation can be done really to any extent or degree, but it has to come at a point in time. The point in time in which the supplementation comes is after you have really dialed in the base of the pyramid. Supplementation's up here. Within the base of the pyramid, you want to make sure that you've got your protein, carbs, fats figured out. You want to make sure that you're drinking enough water, and then you want to make sure that you're going to the gym. So protein, carbs, and fats, water. Then go to the gym. Then take your supplements. Okay? I'm not really one to say, hey, don't take a pre-workout supplement, because I abuse and take the crap out of a pre-workout supplement. But the ideal way to do this is have your amount of protein per pound of body weight. That's my recommendation. Carbohydrate depending on your energy level. So if I work out a lot, I have more carbs. If I don't work out all that much on that day, I don't have as many carbs. If I know I'm working out a bunch tomorrow, I'll still have a lot of carbs. Generally, I have a lot of carbs. Fat, not really my expertise there, but high, low, I go for a high fat intake because I need to hit a calorie amount that I have to do with my, BMR, basal metabolic rate, and with my energy output. So I have a lot of fat so I can have more calories. That's me. Fat, maybe you should ask somebody else about that. But I know for a fact that per pound of body weight is good. I know that carbohydrate, high, low, depending on your energy level. Check. And then fat, people like low fat, people like high fat. I like to say, hey, eat fat with whatever makes sense with the protein and the carb. We have that figured out. Drink upwards of a gallon of water a day. If you're a big person, definitely a gallon. If you're a smaller person, female, 150 pounds or less, you can get away with like 3/4 of a gallon. That's a lot of water. But if you're peeing brown, you aren't having a lot of water. Brown might be aggressive. Yellow is even bad. It should be clear-ish. You shouldn't be thirsty all the time. Here's my water. Always have water. Water is good for you. Once you have food and water figured out, go to the gym 3 to 4 days a week. Then, after you've established the fact that you're doing all this stuff in the bottom, then we can talk about supplements. So, with supplements, I think that there are a few that work. They're the only ones I'll talk about. Everything else, CLA, fish oil, that crap, bleh, I'm not even going to talk about it because it's not worth talking about because it doesn't work. I like to talk about protein. I like to talk about creatine. And then I think that what also works are sugar, salt, and creatine. Those are the only ones that work for weight loss, for performance increases, for muscle building, for just looking like you work out. Those are the important ones. They're the only ones. You can cut it right there. Don't listen anymore. But if you want to know why those things work, I'll keep going. It's hard to hit a number of protein a day. So if I weigh 200 pounds and I want to hit per pound of body weight, that's a lot of chicken, beef, fish, whatever. It's a lot of meat to eat. So you throw in the protein shake or 2 a day. They're usually 20 to 25 grams per scoop. So if I have 2 scoops of protein a day, then I only have to do 150 grams over the course of the rest of the day. And that does help a lot. It goes a long way. It doesn't matter when you take it. I know people hear, oh, I got to have it after the workout, or I got to have it before bed so that it slowly digests and I'm not losing muscle mass over the course of the time I'm sleeping. It's goddamn ridiculous to hear that stuff. And I hate it because it's just a whole bunch of people trying to sell you a bunch of shit that you don't need to hear. It's like, yeah, take my casein protein and take it right before you go to bed, and it's going to help you sleep. And it's got tryptophan in it. You get that sleepy feeling on Thanksgiving when you have turkey. Tryptophan. Yeah, take it. It's like, no, don't do that. Protein, whey, pea, carnivore, just vegan protein. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what type.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Protein you take. As long as you're taking protein and you're making sure that over the course of a week, so 7 days in a week, I need 200 grams of protein a day. 200 times 7 is 1,400 grams in a week. I want to somehow hit that amount of protein in a week-ish. All right, and then I'm good to go. I'm going to be building muscle. I'm going to be looking good, maybe losing weight. The weight loss thing is kind of dependent on the carbohydrate and fat intakes, but you got to hit the protein. So that's the number 1 supplement. The number 2 supplement in my book is caffeine. And caffeine is something that a lot of us take. We drink it in coffee. For some reason, people start to think that when it's in a pre-workout, it becomes dangerous. The things that are dangerous in a pre-workout, dangerous. They're really going to sell you something that's going to kill you at this point in time. They're not. The things that are like less likely to be as okay as caffeine are the things that you don't know what the hell they say. So if you look at the back of the pre-workout canister and it says words that you don't understand, just don't take that one. Get the one that says things that you do understand. There are minimalist pre-workouts out there. I like Bucked Up. I think it's got less things in there. It's actually the one where my buddy said, hey, it says something about growth hormone. And it's like, no, that's deer antler extract. And it's meant to like be a precursor to help you produce more growth hormone. There's no studies that actually prove that it does that. And most of the pre-workouts have where they can convolute the data to say that they have some sort of kick on some other pre-workout. But it's all the goddamn same stuff. It's like a caffeine, creatine, beta-alanine, L-arginine, citrulline combination to some extent or degree, and there's sort of matrix that makes up some crazy thing that's going to make you jacked, skinny, whatever. There is not a pre-workout. So I pulled up bodybuilding.com here, and I said, hey, what are the best pre-workouts? And they gave me a 2022 best pre-workouts. They have it listed by, here's the best tasting, which I do agree. If you want to go to the gym, it's like a treat. It's like, hey, I'm going to take my pre-workout. If it tastes good, you should do this. I agree. Do this. So if you want a good, it's Evil Engine. Interesting name. What I don't like about pre-workouts is that they have things on the front such as intense energy and maximum focus and amplified pumps and explosive power. I envision a 50-year-old mom, maybe she works out once a week. She's like, I'm going to take Evil Engine, and I'm going to go to the gym. And then all of a sudden, she's turning into Aaron Donald. She's got all this explosive power, and she's going to run through a goddamn wall because she took Evil Engine. It's like, no, that's not going to happen. They're all the same. She could take Amino Energy, which is a calm workout. They sell it at Costco, and they're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to get a little jittery, and you're, oh, I took the caffeine, and maybe I itch a little bit, because that's what they freaking do. They're not going to turn you into something based off of whatever the fucking words say on the front of it. The thing at this point in time is that all of the supplements have all of the words on the front. So you look at one of them, and if it says that this one's going to give you something and this one doesn't have those claims, you're not going to get this one. You're going to get the one with the claims. So they all have the claims. They're playing the game. The game is stupid. People are freaking ridiculous. I don't want to say people are stupid, but people are stupid. You just buy the cool colored things, and I do it too, so whatever. Fuck. I'm looking at, this one says that it is the best pre-workout for strength training, which I just told you, they're all the same thing. They all do the same goddamn thing. This one is the best pre-workout for cardio training. Like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? They're all the same. They all have the same things. How is this one going to make you any different? That was the Amino Energy one. Best high energy. What does it have? More caffeine? If it has more caffeine, maybe it is more high energy. But you can just take a scoop and a half of the other one, and then all of a sudden it's just as high energy. These things are goddamn ridiculous. Take whichever one you think tastes the best and move forward with your caffeine and your pre-workout. Next, salt. Who knows anything basic biology? So here's a muscle. Flex, extend, flex, extend. Okay? How does that work? They're actin and myosin, and they weave over one another, and there's a freaking billion of them in there, and they need to flex and contract. The only way that they relax is through the pump. There's a pump in there, and it uses salt and it uses potassium. And you've probably heard if you eat a banana, it's going to help you from cramping, but so does salt. Salt has been bastardized by the health uppers in the medical industry, but those are for people who don't work out. So if you're 50, 60, 70 years old and you don't work out and you're sedentary and you sit there all day, it's like you shouldn't be eating McDonald's all fucking day. If you are an athlete and you sweat, you perspire, or you're just on your feet, or you're a sweaty person naturally, you need salt. I'm not telling you to go out there and have a bunch of salt, but salt is required to help you work out better. It'll make you hold a little bit more water. It'll give you a performance boost, and it's not going to make you look bloated or fat. You know what's making you look bloated or fat? The extra fat on your body that you have probably from not working out that much. So don't worry about salt unless you're a professional bodybuilder going on stage, or if you're a 70-year-old person who doesn't work out at all. Then it might give you high blood pressure. It might be bad. But if you're listening to this video, there's a good chance that you should probably actually be having some salt throughout your day. Salt all your food. It's good for you. I used to keep salt shakers at the gym, and I would just eat salt, feel better, work out better. Wow. Next, sugar. I've known this since I was 16 or 17 years old. At this point in time, I didn't have very much money. So I would go to the dollar store and I'd buy the boxes, like the big round rectangular boxes of Sweet Tarts. And I would keep them in my car. I'd have upwards of 20 boxes of Sweet Tarts at a time. And those boxes would last me a month or two when I'd buy 20. And I'd always get real pissed off when my buddies would eat my Sweet Tarts, because my Sweet Tarts were meant to be had after a workout. And I'd have them after a workout because they would all of a sudden put you into a state, unlike the protein thing you were talking about, to help you recover. I've since told a couple of my athletes that they should be having some sort of sugar. I come from the CrossFit industry where they preach no sugar anytime. That's good if you're looking for, weight loss, look good, feel good. If you're looking for performance, then definitely have sugar after your workout. And if you're feeling very sore all the time, there's a good chance that you might be needing some sugar after your workouts. It's been life-changing for somebody that I work with. He keeps a thing of freaking Country Time lemonade there, and he'll have a glass of lemonade with the Country Time every workout. And you know what happened? He felt better for every day of his life just from having some sugar at the end of a workout. And again, make sure that this fits your macronutrients, but if it's like your post-workout treat, along with your pre-workout treat, it puts you into this circle of rewarding yourself for working out, and you'll love it. And back in the day, I had my Sweet Tarts, so I'd get into my car after my workout, and I'd throw down a handful of Sweet Tarts, which was just maltodextrin, which is just the simplest form of sugar, and you know what? I got in pretty damn good shape. I benched freaking 350 pounds as an 18-year-old. I couldn't squat very much, but I could bench a shitload. Next, creatine. This is the one where all of a sudden I'm into things that are garnered by the science industry. Not that it's really done that way, because if you eat enough meat, you are getting creatine, but you can also take creatine powder. It used to be very expensive, and it's the only thing that's stuck along for a long time. So creatine, you've heard about it in the 90s, you heard about it in 2000, 2010, 2020. There's still creatine. Now, over the course of that time, there's been creatine HCl, and there's been creatine monohydrate, which is the best one. And you've heard about like ester sort of creatines. It doesn't goddamn matter.
It doesn't matter what you think.
As long as you're having your 5 grams of creatine a day, you don't need to cycle it. And the thing that drives me goddamn insane about creatine is that they use steroidal type terminology, like make sure you do your 8 weeks of creatine and then you deload it because it's bad for you. It's like, no, it's not. Is eating too much meat all the time bad for you? You can make a point for literally anything you want, but when they start advertising creatine as to be cycled like a steroid, it's ridiculous. Or this one has a different ester on it, so it's better. Just take the creatine monohydrate. Is it going to make you hold some water? It depends. Maybe some people might hold a little bit of water, but this is more for the people on the athletic end of the spectrum. If it allows you to do one more rep on one set of something every single day, the compounding effect is huge, and you should be using it. If it allows you to run a little bit further or a little bit faster, and you don't even notice it, but it is happening, and it happens over and over and over again, the compounding effect is a better person at the end of the freaking thing. So you should be using creatine, 5 grams or so a day. Drink your water and have your creatine, and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about like kidney disease or passing out a football field, because the thing is, it's a billion people, 7 billion people in the world. If one person dies of creatine, you hear it. Now, what else does this person do wrong? There was a study with a bunch of football players, and like one football player had a bad day, but how do you know they weren't out partying the 3 nights before? And then they found some creatine. Oh my God, he takes creatine. It's like, yeah, don't listen to that crap. There's 1,000 people and they're all dying of creatine. Don't take that. Cut and dry. That's the way you should really look at anything. You, yourself, do your own research. Say, hey, I'm going to try this. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If there's a lot of studies out there that say that it's dangerous, don't take it. If there's one study out there that says one time someone got hurt, become your own lab rat. Like, to recap the whole video, it goes macronutrients on the bottom of the pyramid. Make sure you hit your proteins, your carbs, and your fats, and your water, upwards of a gallon a day for some people. Then make sure you're working out in general. If you're not working out in general, you shouldn't even be watching this video about freaking supplements. Then you think about your supplements, which start with protein, which was the macronutrient. Then they work their way down to like the creatines, the sugars, the salt, and the creatines. I hope you weren't expecting something way cooler than this, because this is what you got. I come to bring you the truth, tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If you want to hear that CLAs are going to help you lose weight and that you should be taking hydroxycut, you shouldn't have turned this video on in the first place. And Riller, bye.